Stick around because today I want to ask you, what do you do in the face of sin? Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Josiah Douglas. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do a Bible study just like this right here, 5 days a week. That's the kind of thing that you're into. You can join me right here, 5 days a week. Today we're talking about the story in Numbers 25, the story of Phineas. The Israelites are camped near Moab. And what happens is the people there, they go and they call over to the Israelites and they start talking to the people and they start bringing them over, individuals. And the people start to worship the Baal that the people there in Moab are worshiping. And because these Israelites have gone over and started to worship this other god and do all kinds of other horrible things with these people that they're camped near, God puts a plague on the Israelites' camp, which, happens all the time, apparently. And so what happens is Moses grabs all the leaders from the different tribes and he says, we need to put an end to this. Grab all your people and get them out of here. At the same time, one of the Israelites, he grabs one of these Midianite women and he takes him back to his tent. And then here, let me read what happens. Here in verse 7 and 8, it says, when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose and left the congregation and took a spear in his hand and went after the man of Israel into the chamber and pierced both of them, the man and the woman, through her belly. Thus the plague of the people of Israel was stopped. Did you catch that? Basically, Phineas grabbed this huge spear, went into the tent of this man and this Midianite woman that he had taken, and they were doing it, and he took a spear and jabbed it through the man's back into the woman's belly and killed them both. Basically, Phineas looked around and he said, these people are sinning and it needs to stop now. And it's not like this guy didn't know what he was doing. The Israelites, the chiefs, had just told them all to stop, that they were all sinning and doing these horrible things. And even though they had just told them, he went and he grabbed this woman and did it in front of all these people anyways. It says that he took her and the entire congregation saw him going into his tent with her. And I think that's a big deal too, because all of these people, all these Israelites, his neighbors, his friends, his family, they saw him. They saw him sinning. They saw what he was doing, just like Phineas did. But they didn't do anything. They didn't tell him to stop. They didn't make him stop, and they surely didn't grab a spear and drive it through both of them to make them stop. But Phineas, he didn't look away. He didn't beat around the bush. He picked up a spear and he did something radical in the face of sin. He did something radical to make sure that the sin would stop and the plague on the Israelites would stop immediately. Are you like Phineas? If you know that somebody is in sin and somebody is doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing, do you look the other way? Do you just kind of let them do it? Do you kind of beat around the bush and maybe kind of suggest that they stop? Or do you do something radical and tell them to stop? It's important that when somebody that we know or there's sin going on with somebody around us, that we put an end to it. Don't just beat around the bush. Don't just look the other way. You put an end to it. You do what you have to do to make sure that it stops. And I'm not telling you to go and take a spear and jab it through somebody's chest, because I can't tell you to do that. That's crazy. You can stand up and you can tell them directly to their face, you're sinning. You know that you're sinning. You know what you're doing is wrong and you need to end it. When you're faced with sin, like the Israelites were, don't just look the other way. Don't beat around the bush and kind of suggest that they stop. You need to put an end to it. You need to be radical in the face of sin. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you made it this far into the video and you're not subscribed yet, maybe it's time you hit subscribe. Just like I said earlier, I do a Bible study just like this 5 days a week, and maybe you can join me and make it part of your routine. Thanks guys, I'll see you tomorrow.